Imagine climbing into a giant flying fortress. Aluminum skin so thin you could punch a hole in it, yet everywhere you look. Gun barrels jutting from windows, chin turrets, tail turrets, 13 heavy 50 caliber machine guns bristling from every angle. To Allied crews in World War II, the B-17 wasn't just an airplane. It was survival. It was the promise that they could strike Hitler's war machine and somehow make it home. But here's the puzzle. If the B-17 was such a flying fortress, then why were thousands of them blasted from the sky? The legend started early. Reporters were dazzled by its defenses. Crews believed it was untouchable, and in many cases, the aircraft proved unbelievably tough. Photographs of bombers with shredded wings and missing noses staggering back to base became iconic symbols of resilience. Yet reputation and reality were not the same. Between 1942 and 1945, the U.S. 8th Air Force lost nearly 5,000 B-17s in Europe. Tens of thousands of airmen were killed or captured. Some missions, like the infamous raids on Schweinfurt and Regensburg, saw more than 1 in 4 bombers destroyed in a single day. Why didn't those guns stop the Luftwaffe? German pilots quickly learned the weaknesses. Attacking from the front was deadly effective. Bombers had limited forward firepower, giving gunners only seconds to react, while enemy cannons ripped through the formation. And the B-17s flew in daylight. American doctrine demanded precision bombing, hitting factories, refineries, and ball-bearing plants, targets that couldn't be struck at night. That meant flying straight through flak bursts and into coordinated waves of Messerschmitts and Focke-Wulfs with nowhere to hide. And here's the truth about those 13 guns. They were defensive only. A bomber could scare off a fighter, but it couldn't chase one down. Imagine sitting in a lumbering giant at 150 miles per hour while enemy fighters screamed past at 400. Even if a formation shot down several attackers, there were always more. And every gun added weight, slowing the bomber, cutting maneuverability, and making it easier fray. The turning point came not from more guns, but from strategy. When long-range escort fighters like the P-51 Mustang arrived, everything changed. Suddenly, the Luftwaffe couldn't just pick apart bomber formations. They had to fight off nimble escorts that hunted them down. By 1944, bomber losses dropped, and missions deep into Germany became survivable. So why were thousands of B-17s shot down? Because no plane, no matter how bristling with weapons, could win a war on its own. The Flying Fortress wasn't truly a fortress. It was one part of a much larger machine. What saved the crews wasn't just firepower, but teamwork, escorts, formations, and overwhelming numbers. The B-17 may not have been invincible, but it earned its place in history as one of the most unforgettable aircraft of the war.